Side protocol has officially announced the Side Genesis drop, which is a major event that will distribute 100 million Side tokens across several categories of participants. Now, it's important to note that the Genesis drop follows a first-come, first-serve registration model. Registration will require a Bitcoin mainnet address, either Taproot or native SegWit, and tokens that go unclaimed in each category will be redistributed within that group, ensuring increased rewards for users who act quick. Now, a total of 100 million Side tokens, as I mentioned, have been allocated for this airdrop, and they will be released over a 3-month schedule following mainnet launch. And registration opens today on November 26th, 2024 at 10 a.m. UTC, and it closes on December 15th, 2024 at the same time. To check your eligibility, you're going to need to visit genesis.side.one and register once registration goes live. At the time of my making this video though, registration should be live. Now, let's talk about the eligible categories, starting with Bitcoin active users. This group has been allocated 30% of the Genesis drop, or 30 million Side tokens. To qualify, participants must have spent at least 0.005 BTC in network fees between January 1st, 2023 and November 1st, 2024. Out of the 765-ish thousand eligible Bitcoin addresses identified in the snapshot, only the first 50,000 registrants can claim tokens, and each eligible address will receive 600 Side tokens. Now, next are the NFT communities, which have been allocated 10.5 million tokens, or 10.5% of the drop. This category includes some of the most prominent and active NFT collections across Bitcoin, Cosmos, Solana, and Ethereum. So yeah, let's talk about them. Celestine Sloth holders are allocated 1,000 Side tokens per address, capped at 1,000 addresses. And then we have Bad Kid holders who are eligible for 1,000 tokens per address with a cap of 1,500 addresses. Pudgy Penguin holders can claim 5,000 tokens per address, capped at 200 addresses. And then we have Milady holders who are allocated 4,000 tokens per address, capped at 250 addresses. We've also got Madlad holders who can claim 2,500 tokens per address, capped at 400 addresses. Bitcoin Puppet holders are also eligible for 4,000 tokens per address, capped at 250 addresses. Then we have Node Monks holders who are allocated 5,000 tokens per address, capped at 200 addresses. And then we've got the Ordinal Maxi Biz and Pizza Ninjas, whose holders can both claim 2,500 tokens per address, capped at 200 addresses. Bitcoin Frog holders are also eligible for 1,000 tokens per address, capped at 500 addresses. Then we've got Quantum Cat holders who are allocated 5,000 tokens per address with a cap of 100 addresses. Now, finally, Roostone holders can also claim 167 tokens per address, capped at 6,000 addresses. So yeah, they are really trying to extend their reach to as many ecosystems and NFT communities. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar, the Side protocol is built using the Cosmos SDK and Comet BFT, and so Cosmos participants are vital to their infrastructure. As a result, 15 million tokens, or 15% of the Genesis drop, are reserved for Atom stakers. Now, rewards here are tiered based on staking amounts, with the highest tier stakers eligible for 750 tokens and lower tier participants eligible for smaller amounts. Validators and side bridge operators who actively supported the sidechain during its testnet phases will also collectively receive 6.3 million side tokens. Now, for this category, distributions will be handled manually with details to be provided on Discord in December. So yeah, registration isn't required for this group of eligible people. Finally, the largest share of the side protocol gen drop, which is 32 million tokens or 32% of the drop, is reserved for testnet participants. These contributors engaged with side protocols incentivized testnet campaigns with over 735,000 addresses participating across all 3 testnet phases. Participants in this category are divided into 11 tiers based on their insider points, with higher tier participants receiving larger allocations. Unlike other categories, testnet registration isn't first come, first served, allowing eligible participants sufficient time to register. So the only ones who need to really hurry are anybody else who was not a testnet participant. In addition to testnet participants, 1 million tokens are allocated to public goods contributors in the Atom Economic Zone. This includes donors to AEZ quadratic funding rounds, Dora stakers on Dora's factory mainnet, and voters in the AEZ voting rounds. Finally, 5 million tokens are reserved for social campaigns, including partnerships with platforms across several ecosystems. It is important to note that side tokens from the Genesis drop will only be claimable after the mainnet launch in January 2025. Ahead of that, Side Protocol will also conduct a public sale of side tokens on Solana, tapping into its large and very active user base. And so yeah, as I wrap this video up, if you're interested, the registration period begins on November 26th, which should be today if all goes as planned. And so yeah, act quickly as spots in most of the categories are limited and at a first come, first serve basis. That is all for Side Protocol updates. Head over to genesis.side.one. Up until next time, goodbye.